Good afternoon. My name is Grant Barrett, and I was the other PSO analytics intern this spring, and I reported to Jeff Mueller. So a little bit about me. I'm a native son of North Fulton County. I graduated from Roswell High School in 2013. Go Hornets. And after that, I went to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, where I had the honor and privilege of rooming with Blake Garrett and Will Check over 3 times. And while there, I majored in business analytics with a concentration in information management. So it's basically an applied statistics degree, and it was pretty technical. And barring any unforeseen circumstances, I will be walking and graduating this December. There's the beautiful Neyland Stadium. You might know it as the best stadium in all college football. Maybe sports in the world. All right, so about me, I'm going to go through these pictures from the left to the right. On the picture on the left, that's me in the singlet. This spring, I ran the country music marathon, or half marathon in Nashville for St. Jude, and that's what you heard about the bake sale earlier. So a special thank you to Adrian, Kayla, Stephanie, and Vanessa, who really did all the legwork for that. I just sort of got out of their way once we got the idea and just focused on running. The second picture was from this past football season when Tennessee beat Georgia on a Hail Mary. Maybe one of the greatest moments of my life, but the point of the picture, basically, I love sports. I love talking about sports, watching sports, playing sports, and reading about sports, specifically Tennessee sports. And then the third picture, I was playing lacrosse in 5th grade. I actually was a teammate with someone in this room's son, Mr. Paul Travis back there. I played high school lacrosse with his son, Mason. And I've been playing since 5th grade, still playing now on a club team. Had to forgo my last season at Tennessee to become a part of Clorox, which was definitely worth it. And then the last picture is the Friends logo. My roommates, Blake and Vroom, we became real big fans of Friends and all sitcoms this spring. We watched the entirety of Friends and several other sitcoms, and it was a way we got to grow closer as an apartment. No cleaning. So now my actual work. So what did I do? I lumped all my work into 3 main categories. Break fix, which is pretty self-explanatory. As things break, people send in requests to PSOA, and we do our best to fix them. The second instance of what I did was manual reporting, which is somewhat of a lifeblood in the company because we have to see what's going on. So to keep our hand on the pulse of everything going on in the company to make sure things aren't going wrong. And then finally, I did new capabilities and projects. So that's optimizing our existing reports and creating new things to help move the business forward. And I have an example of all 3, and I'll get into those now. So break fix, everything was done in Microsoft Access and SQL Server Report Builder. Those are the 3 main applications in Access that I used. And more often than not, I'd have to get with the user, figure out what's going wrong, and then go to the Visual Basic code behind the program and figure out how I could make the error stop popping up for them. And then for SQL Server Report Builder, Adrian touched on this. When SharePoint upgraded, a lot of the reports broke, so we'd have to go through that ETL process and fix them and rebuild the reports. And I'll start with an example of that. This is the Corey dashboard. Has anyone in here seen this error message before? Besides us. Okay, well, when SharePoint went down, this is the error that came up for all the reports because they were pulling directly from our SharePoint lists into the report builder, but the upgrade broke that. So what we had to do is we had to drag it from the SharePoint list into SQL Server through an ETL tool, and then we'd have to pump it back into report builder and recreate the report. So I was able to take it from this, go through our process, and look at that. We have a working report again. But that wasn't the end. Because it was pulling from a new data source that not everyone has access to, I had to work with the end users even more to make sure I have the data on the right settings so they can actually access it. Otherwise, they just get a blank screen. So, an instance of what I did with manual reporting, I helped with the quarterly scorecard refresh. And this is one small thing I did for the OEE, which is the overall equipment effectiveness. In the Latam plants, they enter their data in minutes for their operation times, and then for the downtime, it was still an hour. So what I had to do is I had to go into the back end and create this trigger that would convert the data from minutes to hours. So I divided it by 60, and then I'd store the old data in a new column. So, because part of analytics, you learn you never throw away data. And then And an example of when I optimized a current report is the work I'm doing right now with the executive scorecard, specifically the safety scorecard. And a little bit of background is that everything in the executive scorecard is currently in Excel, and we have a long manual refresh process. So we're trying to move that to Tableau to make the reports a little bit more interactive and easy to use, and also to make that refresh process a lot easier. So this is the original scorecard. You see here, this is our RIR going across the top, and then on the bottom we have a table with 5 columns, and for the most part, except for the RIR number, we're communicating the same information in each one. So we get what we need to know. We get the RIR, so we know if we're doing good or bad, but we don't know why, and we definitely don't know why it's changing. So this is what I made in Tableau. It has pretty colors, and it gives us the option. So we have our RI going across the top, and you can filter by division. So if you want to look at the North American manufacturing plants, the LATAM plants, or even the offices here, you can do that, and the table and the chart will both adjust. And then if you see a drop or an increase in our RIR that interests you, you can control-click on both points, and then the chart on the bottom will automatically adjust. And if you see it go from darker to lighter, that indicates a decrease in the incremental rate. So you can focus on that. Or as it goes from light to dark, it's an increase, so then you know exactly what plants or offices are contributing to the rise or fall in our RIR, so you know who to contact and sort of drive that behavior from whatever is making it worse, if that's the case. And my large project in my swan song was the brainchild of Kirk Niehaus and Mike Robertson and his portfolio Power. And this includes every product in the company, and it's supposed to help us track our overall portfolio health and start to move things over and condense and improve our portfolio in terms of helping things grow that are accretive to our company margin, and maybe improve or get rid of things that are diluting it. So quick facts about that. It's running off an extract of about 7 million rows right now, so it takes 25 minutes or so to refresh. It's got data on 3,700 active SKUs and over 10,000 inactive ones that are no longer being shipped. It will be rolled out in August of this year, so only a few more months or a few more weeks for those of you guys that are anxiously awaiting. And here's all the dashboards on it of note. There have been things added since I made the presentation, so when you see it, it'll be a little bit different. But I won't speak to these very much because I do have a video that we can walk through. All right, so here's the main dashboard, and on the top I've got my filters. You can select any SKU you want, or all of them if you want. So we chose food products, and we'll go to our brand. What's your favorite brand? Your favorite brand's Hidden Valley. We'll go to our purpose, and we'll get our bottled salad dressing. Sorry for the lag on the video. And then we'll go, and you can cycle through the different purposes and types that we have under that category, and all the charts automatically adjust. We go to our next page. We've got a time series of the volume and stat cases that we've sold. And right now we're looking at 21 months of sales data. And then you go to the customer breakdown. And from here you can see the distinct number of customers for every product in that brand. And you can drill down, and then you can see the products that they're buying, or you can see the individual customers and how much they're buying of the product that you choose. And because it is running off 7 million rows, sometimes you do have to wait a couple seconds for the view to populate. But then you can look through and see who's buying what and how much of it. And in this view, instead of drilling from the product to the customer, you do it from the customer to the product. So you can see what Publix is buying in our food category. And you can click through every product and sort of see what's going on. You can see the recent trends and the total volume that we've been selling. And at the beginning, you can also choose a date filter. So if you only want to look at the past 5 months, you can do that. Past year, you could also do that. And then from any page in the workbook, you can also drill back out to the entire company view instead of just food. So if you want to go from Glad to Brita on any page, you can do that. And that should be the video. after I show you a couple more. So my key takeaways, I got about 400 hours of workable experience in Tableau after coming in with about 4. And then I also got practical experience working on the back end of things in terms of database management, which is very helpful because instead of just running queries, now I can create tables, create views, alter and execute stored procedures, and create triggers like I showed you earlier. But my soft skills, my time management improved tenfold since I got here because you never know when something's going to pop up or if you have to plan for a meeting that's going to last 1 to 2 hours. But my favorite one was that teamwork makes the dream work. That's a little bit of a cliche, but I really learned that everyone's weaknesses and strengths coincide with each other. So everything moves forward, a lot of synergy going on, especially at Clorox because everyone's so helpful and are willing to take out time from their day to help you accomplish a goal. So these are my special thank yous. If your name is not on this list, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. I'm very thankful for everyone that I got to come in contact with here, and you guys definitely helped me grow a lot professionally and as a person. I'm not the same Grant that walked in this door in January. Take that how you will. And now I'll open up the floor for questions. See?
So I believe the business analytics major at Tennessee is fairly new, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How is that stuff you're learning in the classroom relate to your internship here?
Well, in terms of the softwares, there wasn't that much that lined up. But I guess it's more the problem solving and the way they teach you to approach problems in that major, because it's almost, it's sort of on the fringe of the business college. It's a lot more technical. Honestly, it's probably a close major to industrial engineering, even though that's still a lot harder than what I did. I don't want to offend any engineers. Any other questions?
So is your portfolio powered can identify PPD SKUs as well?
We're working on that one.
Yep.
That portfolio goal is designed to Tableau, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And it still takes 25 minutes that day?
Yeah, we're working on instituting an incremental refresh. So right now when we refresh it goes like all 7 million rows, but soon once we change a few date fields, we can run it off that and only include the new records in our extract. So it should only take like 3-4 minutes. And we also have computational limits. Is that it? Any more questions?
Just to be clear, his refresh he's talking about will be like once a day. So it would be that you have to worry about it while you're working on the tool.
So we
Right. Yeah. You may see the little spinning circle just like any other program for a few seconds, but that's about it.
We're still working on the refresh process. I think the plan is to have it monthly or bi-yearly, and because we have to organize the data and combine things, because right now we're pulling from the BW 1211, IHO9, and Zimdis, and we combine them all in SQL Server, and that's how we get all that. Okay. All right, and next we have our GSS intern, Will Olson. So long.